State lawmakers are gearing up to host the State of the Tribes address for the first time in 2 decades. Senate President Troy Jackson and Speaker of the House Rachel Talbot Ross called for this joint convention to be held tomorrow morning at 10:45 a.m. The address will provide tribal chiefs the opportunity to speak directly to Maine senators and representatives on matters to strengthen the relationship between Maine and its tribal neighbors. The first State of the Tribes address was held on March 11th, 2002.